Hello everyone, I am Harshada Prashant Deshmukh, currently pursuing third year computer engineering from Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering for Women, Pune. I welcome all to the demonstration of the data science project called Destination Recommendation System. So firstly, there are mainly three parts of coding which include first, front-end coding using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Second, back-end algorithm, working and implementation. And thirdly, backend Jupyter Notebook and front-end connectivity using Django. So as of now, the basic requirements and tools which are needed to be installed are Jupyter Notebook, any of the HTML and CSS supporting IDE such as VS Code, Notepad++, etc. and Django. This is the output of our system which gives the top 20 mostly visited destinations based on the given dataset, which includes the working of the following algorithm such as collaborative filtering. These techniques recommend the destinations based on the preferences of similar users. It analyzes user behavior and preferences to suggest destinations that other users with similar tests have visited. Then content based filtering. This technique recommends destinations based on the features of destinations and user preferences, and most importantly popularity based recommendation. This recommendation technique suggests the destinations based on their overall popularity or frequency of visitations among all users. This approach recommends destinations that are commonly visited by a large number of users. Now we will see the backend recommendation logic part of the system. Let's go through the flow of working. Firstly, we will import all the necessary libraries from the Python. Second, dataset loading and reading. Third one is data description, in which we will describe the dataset, its attributes, columns and data size. Then distribution of input variables. Then data pre-processing. After that we will perform the data visualization using graphs like histogram, bar plot, etc. Then after that we will perform the model implementation in which actual recommend function is written, and after that we will finally predict the top destinations. Now let's see the first part of the data flow in detail, which is nothing but importing the libraries. We are importing pandas and numpy as they are the common convention in Python. Then for visualization purpose we are importing matplotlib and pyplot library from the matplotlib. Then we are also importing the express module, which provides the high level function for creating visualizations. Also we are importing the Seaborn library for visualization purpose, which helps to create the statistical graphics. Now we are loading and printing all these data files, datasets into these variables. Airbnb is our training dataset, which is useful for further data processing. Using df.head function, we are printing first few rows of both the dataset. The dataset describes the booking of tickets for destination visit using different platforms. Of all these columns, ID column is not useful for further data processing. Hence, we are removing it using df.drop function and again printing the same dataset to ensure that the ID column is deleted. Using matplotlib, we are setting the default font size and figure size for the plots. Font size is set to 10 and figure size is set to 9,5 inches. Using SNS library, we are setting the plotting style of Seaborn plots as dark grid. Then in the calls variable, we are listing out the unique columns from the training dataset and printing them. And in this line, we are describing the training dataset. This code is for the distribution of input variables. In these two lines, we are importing the make subplots function. It is a function to display the histograms for various features in Airbnb set. These lines import the make subplots function and the graph objects module from the Plotly library. It is used to create the subplots, and Go is used to create the graph objects like histograms. Then we are initializing the j and d variables to track the position of subplot within the subplot grid. Then these lines divide the list of column names calls into two parts, part 1 containing the first 7 columns and part 2 containing the next 7 columns. This is done to arrange the features in subplot grid. Then further we are creating a subplot grid with 2 rows and 7 columns using the make subplots function. It also specifies the subplot titles for each subplot. For the pre-processing of data, for loop iterates over the traced and trained data. For each data frame, it converts date account created column to date time format using pd.toDateTime function. Then it extracts the year, month, and day components from the date account created column and creates new columns called account year, account month, and account day to store these components. Then after adding the new columns to data frames, this code selects the specific columns to keep in both test and trained dataset. It retains the columns related to user information such as timestamp, gender, age, sign up method, etc. The country destination column is also kept, which is the target variable for the prediction. Then this line displays the first few rows of the modified test dataset. This code is for data visualization purpose, in which we are plotting the bar plot using plt.figure function with the figure size of 14,8. It creates a bar plot to visualize the distribution of country destination variable in the Air and B dataset. It calculates the count of each destination and orders destinations based on their count. Then it annotates the bar plot with the percentage of each destination. Now for checking the missing data, this line handles the missing values in the age column by replacing the values below 18 and above 100 with the not known. It fills the missing values in the age column with the mean age. It displays the information about the data frame, including the data types and non-null counts of the each column. Here we are using the def function to remove the outliers, which is taking the data frame and the columns as input. Then here we are calculating the 25th and 75th percentile. After that we are calculating the interquartile range and finding out the lower bound and upper bound of the system. Then after that we are removing the outliers which are lower than lower bound and greater than the upper bound, and returning the data frame again. Here we are loading the old dataset into the new data frame. We are removing the outliers, calling the remove outliers function. Here we are defining the input and target columns. In the input column, we are storing all the columns except the country destination column, which is nothing but the target column. We are defining the numerical and categorical columns. For that the separate lists are created to store the names of numerical and the categorical columns. We are performing the normalization uh, using the min-max scaling to scale the features in range of 0 to 1. Then label encoding is performed on the categorical features to convert the categorical data into the numerical format. And for the target encoding, the target variable, which is the country destination, is encoded into the numerical values. Then here we are defining the x and y variable, which is the input variables, uh, which are the numerical columns and the categorical columns, are stored in the x variable, and y variable contains the target variable. This code is for predicting destinations. We are creating a new dictionary, ENC label, by flipping the key value pairs of ENC countries dictionary. It is mapping numerical variables to corresponding country names. Here we are defining predict test function, giving df data frame as input parameter. We are performing normalization on the numerical columns using the scalar object and transform method. We are label encoding the categorical columns using the encoder object and dot fit transform method. In this x variable, we are storing the input features of numerical columns and categorical columns. Further, we are printing processing destinations message. In the pred variable, we are storing the possibilities or the probabilities of the destinations using previously trained classifier, which is xgboost. If condition, in if condition, we are checking length of data frame is equal to 1, which indicates a single user is using the system. If the condition is true, we are printing we recommend the following destinations message, and top 5 destinations which are most likely to visit are printed. Further, we are returning pred variable. Again, we are calling the predict test function for the test df data frame to predict the possibilities of destinations for test data. Let's initialize empty lists of IDs and countries. For extracting user's ID from submission underscore df data frame, we are storing them in test underscore ID and printing it over here. For generating recommendation, for loop is iterating over the range of length of test underscore ID list, which corresponds to number of users. Inside the loop, in IDX, we are retrieving user ID at index I. Then it appends the user IDs IDX 5 times to IDs list, indicating that each user will receive 5 recommendations. Then it receives top recommended countries for user at index I based on predicted probability in pred variable and appends them to countries list. This line will create a data frame result underscore df by stacking IDs and countries list column wise using np.column underscore stack function. The resulting data frame has 2 columns, ID for user ID and country for recommended countries. The column names are explicitly specified as ID and country. This is how we can create destination recommendation system using collaborative prediction and popularity based prediction. Thank you all for watching.